So we're here with my teammate Logan to show you his Dinosaur Metalfoe's deck profile. So dive on in.
First, we lead off with 3 Soul Eating Oviraptor. This card is a Stratos or a Foolish. You don't usually use the Foolish effect, but it can come up. Play 3 Miscellaneousaurus. Being able to just discard it for extra fodder in grave is really good, or being able to banish it just to summon your little babies is really good too. 3 Dino Diapers, Baby Ceratosaurus. When this card is popped and destroyed by card effects, it special summons any dinosaur from deck, as long as it's level 4 or lower, and it can summon itself, and it's not once per turn. And then we run 3 of the Pterodon. So this card, when it's destroyed by card effects, it special summons a level 4 or higher, but unlike Baby Ceratosaurus, that one cannot attack. We run 2 of the boss guy, because this one card destroys Paleo. Then we run 3 of all the good pendulums, because Bismugear sucks. Because you can't pendulum summon Bismugear, and I don't want to play more than 40 cards. Then we run 1 of this guy, because it's a searchable low scale. It's also nice and ultra. When a card battles a non-pendulum monster, it just destroys it at the end of damage count. Then we run 3 Rotas. 1 of the Metalfoe's Fusion. This card's really nice to bait out your opponent, setting it for a face down. So if they twin twister it, you just get another draw. We run 3 Metalfoe's Counter. It's really good because when you set it and your opponent is going to destroy everything, you just get board presence so they don't OTK you. 1 Storming and 3 Quaking. You need battle traps in this kind of deck because there's sometimes you'll have to open and you don't have quite the plays to go off and summon your really big boards. So it's really nice to just set these and help you buy yourself a turn so you can get to that combo. Then we run 1 copy of Solemn Warning. It's just a really good trap. Stops pretty much everything. We run 1 Bottomless because it's a Rafflesia target. On to the extra, we run 2 Mithrilium. You don't need 3 because you can put Mithrilium back with Mithrilium. And if they want to waste their strike on a Mithrilium, they can just recur extra Metalfoes anyway. That's their fault. 1 Orichalc because it's a big beat stick. Yeah, it takes 2 Metalfoes, so you can actually use the this guy. So you're most likely just going to use this guy for Exceeds anyway. But Orichalc, it does double piercing. And if you use it for a fusion summon too, or just destroy it off something, it pops something on the field.
Heavy damage through Trident.
Yes. Unless they have that Ram. And then we run 2 Evilzar Logia. You could play Solemn Judgment, wouldn't you? 1 Dolka, because this one's better in the mirror, because no one else is playing Metalfoes. Castile, just outs things. Gweller, it's good in the mirror. It's good against Light Swarms.
Yeah, buddy.
1 Emerald, you can just put things back, keeps your combos going. This card, I don't want to be targeted. You don't want to be targeted, so just stop playing. Just don't do it. 1 Diamond Dyer, really good. You can use it to pop more than just spells and traps. Rafflesia, sending on a field of Logia, Rafflesia, Ultimate Conductor, Tyranno, first turn's pretty darn good. Then we run the Zoo combo. This is really good. This goes really well at something in my side deck, but you can just make this normally. And you can actually use your Trident to pop a baby in dire situations. And our last card is Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. There's a lot of times when you use cards like your Volt Flame and your triple counter, you'll get several Volt Flames on field. And, there's just times you don't really want to fusion summon, and this card is just better in general for those kind of situations. For the side, we run 1 Maxi, because you don't want to, against cards like True Dracos, they just don't special summon enough for me to want to play this in the main. Plus there's cards that, in those kind of matchups, you just want to take out anyway. So it's nice to have something you can put it in for. 2 Artifact Lancia. This card's does really well by just discarding it to stop decks like Paleo, Snow, really good. But then we run 2 copies of this because if you play this against Trident, they're not going to have a good time. Dogoran is searchable, but there's just not enough room in the main deck to play it, and it doesn't do you too well against every deck, so I'd just rather side it. 2 enemy controller for the Zodiac matchup. Because if your opponent has Trident, and you can activate this to target their Trident, and if they give it to you, then they're stupid, and you can just overlay over it and keep it. But most of the time, they're just going to use their Trident to pop their own Trident, and then you just pretty much used your 1 card to kill their Trident. Or if they had to leave it without a Trident, like say they left their
Broadbull.
Yeah, Broadbull, or you had to later on use like their Shekanaga to bring something back. You can always enemy controller it and just put stuff over it. On 2 Chalice, because this card against Zoo, you have a lot of cards you can side out of against Zoo. So putting stuff in is really easy against Zoo. This card just shuts off a bunch of their plays, and when they're at 0, it's really not a big deal giving them 400 attack points. 2 Twin. This is really good in the Paleo matchup. It's really good, and if you somehow see the Invoked matchup,
Pendulums.
Really good against Pendulums. And 3 Royal Decree, because if you're playing against trap-heavy decks, you can always just side out some of your Metalfoe support to make this just more useful. That's it for the deck. There's pretty much the main gimmick of the deck is you can use your Pendulums to pop your babies. So if you open up a full set of Pendulums and babies, this is like your ideal hand right here. 2 babies and 2 scales. You can Pendulum out your babies, and you can use each scale to pop 2 babies and go into stuff like your Oviraptor special things, or this. You can use it to search your like boss and everything.
Is Oviraptor once per turn? A hard once per turn?
Oviraptor is a hard once per turn per effect. So you can use his tribute effect once. So you can't, and his add effect once. So you can actually tribute this to bring back like your baby Ceratosaurus. If you had other ways of popping. So yeah.
Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.